In 2003, the British cycling team was a disaster. For nearly a century, they had not won a single Tour de France. Then a new coach, Dave Brailsford, introduced a radical idea he called the aggregation of marginal gains. Instead of chasing massive breakthroughs, he focused on tiny, almost invisible improvements, just 1% better in sleep quality, nutrition, training, even the design of bike seats. Within 5 years, the team went from nobodies to dominating the sport, winning multiple Olympic golds and Tour de France titles. That's the power of 1% improvements and why they can beat any single burst of 100% effort. Point 1. Consistency is greater than intensity. Think about going to the gym. If you push yourself with 100% effort one day, lifting until you cannot move, you'll feel accomplished, but then you might skip the next week just to recover. On the other hand, if you commit to being just 1% stronger, faster, or more consistent each session, you build habits that compound over time. It's the difference between burning out and actually transforming your life. Point 2, the math of compounding. Here's where it gets mind-blowing. Improving just 1% every day does not sound like much, but mathematically, it compounds. If you're 1% better every day for a year, you'll be about 37 times better by the end. But if you get 1% worse every day, you don't just stay the same, you collapse to nearly zero. That's the hidden math behind why small improvements crush one-time big pushes. Point 3, real-world example. U.S. businesses and startups. Look at companies like Amazon. Jeff Bezos did not build it into a trillion-dollar empire overnight. In the beginning, it was a small online bookstore. But each year, Amazon made small, incremental improvements, faster shipping, more product categories, a better user experience. Those 1% improvements stacked up to create the most customer-focused business in the world. It was not a single leap. It was hundreds of small steps. Point 4, why our brains prefer 1% wins. Here's a psychological angle. Our brains love progress. A small, achievable win gives you a dopamine boost, which makes you want to keep going. But chasing a massive 100% effort, like trying to completely change your diet in one day, usually backfires. You fail, you feel discouraged, and you quit. That's why New Year's resolutions collapse by February. But stacking small, consistent wins? That sticks. Point 5, how to apply this daily. So, how do you use this idea? Start by asking, what's one small thing I can improve today? Write one extra sentence if you're working on a book. Save $1 extra if you're building wealth. Do one more push-up if you're exercising. These are small enough to feel effortless, but powerful enough to snowball into massive change. The truth is, greatness is not built in one giant leap. It's built in 1,000 tiny steps. A single 100% effort can feel heroic, but 1% improvements repeated over time will make you unstoppable.